Now we're going to go into some serious information from our Minister of Finance, Navid Saberin. Because, in a country where taxes are voluntary, maybe finances is not so easy, but we're going to find out.
Right, hello. Tarek, for somebody who's not a speaker, you really set the bar really high, so thank you. And I'm supposed to follow that, Goodness. So we're going to talk a little bit of finance for a change, because I tend to always, every year, talk about anything but finance. So I figured for the 10th year, here we are. So we're going to try to reinvent finance at Liberland. We're drawing a new picture on a blank canvas. So we had 10 years, and then actually when I was thinking of the 10 years, I haven't quite made up my mind yet whether it's like, wow, is it already 10 years? Or rather, wow, it's only been 10 years. Because really, on one hand, it really feels like yesterday when, sorry, no offense, but when a crazy visionary put down the flag on Liberland and declared a new country. But at the same time, on the other hand, I figure it's, if I try to remember a life before Liberland, it feels like a really distant memory. So is it like time either is, time flies, or it's been going forever. So my journey to Liberland kind of came through the path of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin really opened my eyes to concepts of decentralization, financial sovereignty, and individual empowerment. And in a sense, it opened my eyes to how value is really stored in the world. And I started looking at the entire world through the orange glasses of Bitcoin. When I came across Liberland, it really presented itself like an political twin of Bitcoin because of the qualities of borderlessness and trustlessness, and it's fiercely free. So why are we reinventing finance now? Didn't they tell us always, don't reinvent the wheel, don't fix it if it's not broken? But the old system is broken. It's actually corrupt and broken and rotten to the core. First of all, because of centralization. The system, and we're talking about the financial system, is based on centralized banking. Centralized banking really is at the core of all things. If you have read the Creature from Jekyll Islands, you'll see what I mean. And if you have not read it, that book gives you more financial education than any kind of business degree will give you. It is opaque. It's opaque by design. They don't want to understand how central banking works. So when people would just understand central banks, we would have riots and revolutions on the street before the sun would even go up. It is restrictive in nature, and it's a system that's built for control, not for freedom. Henry Kissinger famously said, if you control the money supply, you control the world. And it's not really that money, we keep saying that money is the root of all evil, but it's not really the money itself. Money is energy. It's basically, that's why we call it currency. It's a tools for exchange of goods and services, right? But it's a central banking system that's really at the root of all the evil that we have seen. Without central banking, there wouldn't be any wars in the world. So we have a blank canvas. What does that mean? So Liberland is not shackled by legacy baggage. We are not bound by any old system, so we can really build the country from the ground up. And this really reminds me of this anecdote how Witt would always bring up that back in the days before he started Liberland, he was a very active libertarian in the Czech politics, and he got so frustrated with the system. So he would say that it is a lot more difficult to try to have any kind of meaningful change in a political system than it would be a lot easier actually just to start your own country. And here we are right now, because of that. So what does Liberland put on its blank canvas right now? We got blockchain governance. These are all buzzwords now that we hear a lot. What does blockchain governance really mean? I remember 4 or 5 years ago, we were sitting in Dubai at the pretty prestigious family office event. So we were in Dubai sitting, and all these big fund managers were talking about all the billions that they're managing for their clients, and everybody threw in the word blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. And after talking to them individually, I figured nobody really had an idea what they're talking about yet. It's a little bit like back in the 90s when the dot-com bubble kind of, when everybody was adding a dot-com to that thing. But Liberland has been born in blockchain from pretty much from day one. It has been speaking, dreaming, and it's the language of Liberland. Digital identity, that's a very big one. That's a double-edged sword in a sense, because right now, especially in the EU, we're talking about digital identity. We're talking about how good, how convenient it's going to be, how you're going to link everything to one digital thing. But this is not in the sense that it's supposed to be, because it really becomes a means of control. They say it's for your best, it's for your good. We're going to link your health status, your social status, everything to this one identity, and we're here to help you. And as you know, Ronald Reagan famously said that the 11 most dangerous words in the English language are, "We are from the government, we are here to help you." But in a sense of Liberland, digital identity is really what Michael also was referring to in the first chapter of the first article of the Constitution. It's really about ownership. You own yourself, you own your identity, and that is really what we mean by digital identity. Smart contracts, that is very key. Smart contracts are actually not smart at all. They're pretty dumb. It's just a piece of code, you know, that really get rid of 90% of the bureaucracy. Because all smart contract basically is an agreement between one or two or three parties on a blockchain. Conditions A and B are met, and then result C is executed. So you don't need all the middle steps. You don't need all the human error judgment that leads to favoritism and corruption. This is key. We are cryptonative infrastructure. And this is really the key, the gist of this presentation. I wasted about 90% of it on I'm going to stop wasting time. I'm going to shut up about this. So cryptonative infrastructure. The last year and a half, you know, LLD, this is, we have, I don't know how familiar we are. We are based on LLD, which is the Liberland Dollar, and the LLM, the Liberland-branded. The last couple of years, we've launched now LLD, and it's really taken a life on its own. Initially, I was very skeptical about it because LLD was kind of created out of a technical necessity. It is the token that on which the Liberland blockchain actually functions. It's an operational token. And it's taken a life on its own, and a lot of focus is on it right now. But what people keep forgetting, and it's a little, and it's good, it's by design, LLM for now is a little bit, it doesn't get the attention until time. And I'll tell you why LLM is so significant. Because LLM is more than just your path to citizenship. It's more than just your political power for voting. It's actually, how Witt earlier said, it's a stake in a country. Think about it. I mean, this is enormous. I mean, what is the value? I mean, we tend to get focused by numbers on the screens, and that is a real big distraction. What is the value of a country? You know, imagine the Singapore and the Balkans right there. Imagine Monaco right now. How do you put a price on that? You know? It's really infinite, and we keep forgetting how precious and valuable this. And I'm not even talking about a number, but dollar number. Like, it's literally infinite. And if you just try to imagine, I mean, we have visions of Zaha Hadid, I'm sure you've seen them, or Sergio Bianco, who have like incredible designs, but Liberland may look like in the future. Put a price on that. That's literally impossible. We have a banking solution, and this is kind of ridiculous sounding because we've been talking about banking for the last 3 years, and I was hoping actually to have a working demonstration for this thing, but it is in the talks. We're going to have payment gateways, credit cards that are Liberland-branded. In fact, this card right here, if it shows up, you can actually order it today already. This is not just a montage. There's a partner that actually started announcing a Liberland-branded credit card that we can actually load up with LLDs. And we have investment vehicles that are in the works. We have a fund that is ready to launch based out of Luxembourg, Luxembourg being the second largest fund manager in the world after the United States. So all these things are coming as we speak. I have 1 more minute. And of course, we are Bitcoin native. We are born in Bitcoin. We've been breeding Bitcoin. We literally have Bitcoin transactions on a daily basis. Unfortunately, I mean, Bitcoin is something you want to keep forever, but we've been living and working on Bitcoin since day one. And as of last year, we have a Bitcoin fund where we have a determined fixed amount every month of our revenue goes into that Bitcoin fund, and it's supposed to stay there forever. It's not an operational budget, it's a reserve budget. So Bitcoin, okay, I'm going to skip through these things. It's really a pity. I'm going to run through this. So if Bitcoin gave us the way to really opt out of the old system, Liberland gives us the way to build a new one. And Liberland blockchain is really a sandbox. Anybody can just plug in, you can. But one more thing is here, the sky is the limit. And why settle with the moon if you can go for the stars? So as of tomorrow, this is really an announcement. This star here with these coordinates, whatever, 11-4 DC 47, is going to be named tomorrow. It's going to be named Liberland is the certificate. So we're going to have our own star.
Okay.
So why go to the moon when we actually have a home up in the universe? So that star is going to be registered tomorrow on April 13th. And I'm told that's a pretty bright star, so it's actually quite visible from here. So.
Wow.
So